it's Liz Yuille from Old Stables Crafts again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you for hitting play today. It's a bit of a funny old day here in South Oxfordshire. It is blowing an absolute hooligan. It can't decide whether it wants to be sunny or cloudy, but there we go. So if you hear any whistling in the background, it's probably the wind whistling through my skylights. But anyway, hey ho, there we go. So this is the card that we're going to make today, well, or variation on it, and I'm calling it a Peekaboo card. I'm sure there is some official name for it, but basically it's just a slice taken out of a card, and some stamping underneath, and then I've done some layering on top. And I've used and will be using again the beautiful Bouquet bundle, which is on pages 92 and 93 in the annual catalogue. Because it's in this box, you can see it's a bundle. It's a photopolymer stamp set, which is huge. There are 37 stamps in this set, including lots of lovely sentiments, some of which run together. So, love isn't the falling. It's the staying there. I knew it was there somewhere. So there's happy birthday, happy wedding day, congratulations, thanks a bunch. So lots of what's the word I'm looking for? Variety about how you could use it. Obviously, it's basically flowers. We have used this before. I used this on my first Subtle Sunday video. Just with the stamps, but yeah, I think it's a really pretty set with lots of options. The framelets that go with, some match the stamps and some are independent of the stamps. What I would say before we start, so some of the stamps, actually let's use one I've already prepared. So this one, for example, can you see that, has got a little kind of arrow there, and it matches with an arrow on the sheet that the stamps go on. Now, generally speaking, when you see an arrow like that, it's because it's a two-step stamp, but this isn't a two-step stamp. It is purely so that when you stamp it and you use the matching framelet, you know which way is up. So if I take the framelet and lay it over the stamp with the arrows matching up, you will see that it marries up perfectly. So that's what the arrows are for. It's purely directional. So don't get confused by that. That's all that's about. So let's get started. I have done some stamping and I've done the die cutting that needs to be done, but the rest we will do together. So this is using So Saffron, Peekaboo Peach, Blushing Bride and Pear Pizzazz inks with Pear Pizzazz and So Saffron coloured cardstock and then just the standard Whisper White. I'm going to change it up a bit. And we are going to use Wisteria Wonder as our main colour. Then with, Wisteria Wonder ink, Marina Mist, Pear Pizzazz again, and Soft Sky. I could have held this over to another Subtle Sunday, but hey, there we go. I didn't. So yes, so we're going for the kind of blues and mauves this time. So remember, all the measurements will be in the associated blog post, which is just linked below in the description bar. So don't worry about writing anything down. If you miss it, it's not a problem. So what have I got here? I have got my standard half a sheet of A4, so cut in half at A5, scored down the centre, folded towards the mountain for my standard card base. So this is an A6 card base in metric terms. So we'll fit in our standard C5 envelope. I don't need that for a while. I have two of my standard larger mats, which are the 5 5/8 by 3 7/8 inches, 14 1/4 by 9 3/4 centimetres. I've got a couple of scraps of Wisteria Wonder and a scrap of Whisper White. Those will be for, well, you'll see what those are for. I have already die cut out of Pear Pizzazz both of the flower dies a couple of times, just for the layering, and I have also stamped and die cut some of the flowers. Again, those are for the bits that we layer up. I just thought that would save us a wee bit of time. You've seen me die cut before, and I will be doing some die cut tips on Top Tip Tuesday in the future. So, as far as the rest is concerned, so one of these we can put to one side for the moment. What I now need is a ruler, a pencil, a good rubber, and by good rubber, my favourite are these white rubbers. So, and in the States you will call that an eraser. So, all I am going to do is pop my card down on the grid, and this is where the grid is actually quite useful. Just line it up, and I'm going to mark 1 inch up and 1 inch across. Helps, of course, if you actually line it up onto a line. Can you actually see that? Yes, sort of. I'll come up a bit. It's probably easier. In fact, can I? Yes, I probably can. So I'm going to line up on 1 inch on the darker of the lines. You can, oh no, except then you can't see the top. Well, we'll come back to the top. So I'm lining up on the darker of the line at 1 inch, the dark line, and then I'm coming across 1 inch here. And then, so I've just put little marks there, and then at the top, I'm just going to come in 1/4 of 1 inch on each corner. So we're going corner to corner. So with my ruler, I am just going to mark from corner to corner. Whoops. That would be so much better if I actually marked it corner to corner rather than jumping my ruler. Ugh. Fortunately, I've got a good rubber. So I'm just joining up those two sets of corners, or, you know, just in from corners. Like that. Okay? So, what I'm now going to do is bring in my trimmer and just unclip that, line up so that the line follows the groove of the trimmer, and then I'm going to slice down there and do the same again. And slice down there. And I'm going to keep all of those bits for the moment. Don't need my trimmer anymore. So I'm now just going to get rid of all of the pencil marks. And because this is a good, nice white rubber, those are going to come off really easily. Don't actually need to worry about those. It's these two pieces really that I need to worry about, because we are going to keep those. And this I'm going to place on my other piece of Whisper White, line it up with the corners, and then just use that as a template. And oops, trying to do this so you can see. I apologise if all you're getting now is a shot of my arm. So that is my stamping area. This area here down the middle is where I need the stamping to be. Then the other, I'll pop that to one side for the moment. Then these two pieces, I'm going to bring in my thicker of my, I've now lost, of course, my tiny piece of Whisper White. There we are. So I'm going to bring in the thicker of the two. It doesn't matter, but it's just an offcut strip of Wisteria Wonder. And I'm just going to find my adhesive and run, which way shall I do it? Yes, I will do it this way. So I will run adhesive, which always helps if it's running properly. We don't need a huge amount. This is good adhesive. If you prefer to use tape runner or tear and tape, that's fine. Anything is fine. Tear and tape might be a little bulky, but other than that, and I'm just going to pop that down so that it's leaving me with a very thin edge. And then this piece hopefully will fit. Yes, perfect. So this piece again, I'm going to run some adhesive down the edge. So as soon as I have filmed this video, I am off on my afternoon run. So I'm hoping that by the time I have finished, the wind has calmed down a bit, because although I go and then come back, so therefore in one direction it will be easier, in the other direction it won't be. So there we go. So hopefully, right, I'm going to trim the edge like that, and this edge, let's actually get so that I'm lining up with the white, and then again here, and then there. So those will ultimately line up with where they used to be. So that will go there, and that will go just there. So that's always good that you find that they fit still. Right, okay, so now the stamping. I'm going to use, say, the three colours of bluey, violet, mauvey ink, and also the Pear Pizzazz. As ever, I always think it's best to start with the larger stamps and then fill in. There will be one exception to that, but only one, and it's not really an exception, and I'll explain why in a moment. So I'm going to start, I'm going to come over the pencil lines because I don't want it to look like there's an edge. And I don't want to stamp the same stamp in the same colour twice, if you see what I mean. Actually, I'm going to do the softer colour next. So I'm going to use the same stamp but with a different ink colour, so that it look, and also change its orientation a bit. So I probably won't use that one again, but I will keep it to hand. And the next one I'm going to bring in, and the reason I say it's sort of a large stamp and sort of not, is because it is a larger stamp, but it's the smaller flowers. And because it's a larger stamp, I just want to make sure that I've kind of kept a big enough space for it. And oh, getting dirty marks. Fortunately, it doesn't matter. But there we go. I could probably have done second generation stamping, but now that I haven't, I won't. So that's those, so we'll pop those away. And, oh no, that's trying to put them back onto the sheet. Right, bring in the, it looks a bit like a pansy. Actually, I'm just going to bring in a piece of scrap because I want to stamp off the edge, and I'd rather not completely smother my relatively new grid paper. So yes, I'm trying to be terribly good and trying to actually take some exercise. It's all very well having a job where I stand around all day because that's just what I do. But standing isn't necessarily the same as taking exercise. So I am trying to be terribly good and actually take some exercise. So I've started the Couch to 5K program. I'm on my second week, and I'm about to do day 3 of my second week. So I'm reasonably pleased with how I'm going with that. But I have to say it was a bit of a shock after week 1. Week 1 went reasonably easily, and week 2 has been a bit more of a challenge, which is what you would expect it to do. So that's not really a surprise. But yeah, it was challenging, I think is the polite way of putting it. But we're getting there, and that's what matters. So I'm just going to fill in a bit with some of the smaller images. And then, having said I'm not going to use the same one twice, I am. Eeny, meeny, miny, that one. In fact, what I might do, most of the images up here are going to be covered, so I'll just make sure that I've got a backing, but I will stamp off and then I'm going to pop him down there again. Yeah, okay, so that's that. And now I need to grab a little leaf, which is that one there. And I'll pop these away for the moment. I might have to come back and fill in, and I will need one of them later on for the sentiment. So these I will definitely do double stamping with, so second generation stamping. Just so that there is a bit more depth, and I'm literally just going to fill in because that's kind of what it's there for. And I do like to come off the edge so that we have everything pretty much covered. And I'm not worried too much about the pencil marks here because the pencil marks were drawn with the slither from the middle, but actually no, I don't need that. But because I've put the band of coloured cardstock down on top or inside that, it doesn't matter. It will become apparent when I put it together, she says, realising she's rambling. Right, okay. Marina Mist, because I don't want this to be the same colour as the card that I am using as the backing. Now, I happen to know that this will just, but only just, fit. And I find that if I'm stamping on white, a very thin white, that it's easier if I put a darker colour behind so that I can see what I'm doing, particularly when you guys are standing in the way yet again. Just. Whew. I think I got away with it. Okay, right, don't need that anymore. So, let's put it together because we are at that stage. Don't need that for the moment. Pop that away. Right, okay. So, the first thing to do is to pop these back down. So, these are going to come in here. And this is what I mean. The pencil line is here, but because I put the strip of cardstock behind, I'm coming further in, so it's covered. So, just some glue. Now, you could pop this up with dimensionals, which would actually look really effective. However, because I'm going to be putting dimensionals, the die-cut flowers on with dimensionals, the downside with that in the UK is that our dear friends at the Royal Mail will charge you for a large letter. And as a large letter can be as big as A4, in fact slightly bigger than A4, it does seem a little unreasonable to send an A6 card as a large letter, just because it's a little fatter. So I tend not to use dimensionals more than once on a card, so that I keep the postage down. Because, you know, that's me. I don't like spending money if I don't have to. That's part of the reason I'm a demonstrator, because I get a discount. I feed my addiction for less money. On the subject of which, do remember it's Christmas in July. So if you are thinking of becoming a demonstrator, now is the perfect time, because Stampin' Up are going to give you an extra £65 worth of product just because it's July. And that's a Christmas stamp set, which is the one I used on my last week's Why Not Wednesday. So it's the stamp set, 2D blocks, a pad of grid paper, a pair of snips, a bone folder, a snail. Did I say 2D blocks? Anyway, yes. So it gives you everything you need to start stamping with a friend, which is just lovely because it's so much nicer stamping with someone else. It's lovely stamping on your own, but it's just nicer to stamp with a friend. So with 2D blocks you can do that. And then you still get the same brilliant deal, and it is the best deal in the whole catalogue, of £130 worth of product, up to £130 worth of product, for just £99 including free shipping. Yay! And that can include items from the clearance rack, it includes bundles, and if you wanted to get the matching dies to go with the Carols for Christmas stamp set, then you could do that. Just let me know, because you will be able to pop those in, because as a demonstrator you're allowed to pre-order them, and as someone signing up to be a demonstrator, you can also pre-order them. Now in the original of this, yes, there it is. In the original I put the sentiment up there. I'm actually going to bring it down and pop it across at the bottom for no reason other than I can. And also in the original I cut it flush here, but I'm going to leave a little end. And in fact, what I'm going to do first is just flag the end of this. I could use my triple banner punch, but for the sake of speed I shall not. So I'll just flag the end, pop some glue on my back. Well, not my back, obviously, although it wouldn't put it past me to pop glue down my back. Then pop this, I'm going to sort of slide it up so that I get more glue down. There we are. And then flag these ends as well so that they kind of match. And then this will come down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a dimensional for one end, for this end, and then not for the other. And because I'm going to do that, I'm going to actually use fast fuse for the other end, so that I know I've got a really good and really quick adhesion. So that comes in there, and it then just means that that's just all lifted off a bit. I don't know if you can see that. Right, okay, so we are so close to being done. Let's bring in the bits that I've already stamped and die cut. So I'm going to start with one of these little leafy things, and that's just going to pop down to sort of form base. I'm actually going to put all of the leaves down pretty much before I do anything else. just to fill in the background, and I'm going to bring that so that it's coming off the top of the card. I'm actually going to just snip the end off, just snip the stalk off so that I know it's not going to stick out, and I will do the same with the other one. I'll probably end up snipping all of the stalks off. So yes, and then you can think of me as I'm running my way round South Oxfordshire, hopefully without being rained on, because I really don't fancy being rained on. I know I'm going to have to run in the rain in the winter, but you know what? It's not winter, it's summer. I deliberately started my running regime in the summer so that it was, let's think, summer and dry and nice and sunny and nice and dry and sunny and stuff. And this just isn't fair. I know life isn't, but you know, can we have a little more fairness? It's not much to ask for, a bit of sunshine in the summer. And I know I was complaining a few weeks ago that it was too hot. And I know the British are always complaining about the weather. But, you know, there's not much else to complain about. You know, the government and state of the National Health Service and all those things. But, you know, nothing serious like the weather. So why can't we complain about the weather? Right, okay, actually I don't know, no, I don't think I do want that one. I'll pop that one there. The reason I don't want that one there is because it's too much like the, it's too near the colour of the cardstock. But that's fine, I don't have to have it there. Bring that down a bit more. Then, this one, which will have kind of there-ish. And then our little baby one, which can still use an ordinary size dimensional. Ooh, no. Let's see if I didn't. Let's see, did I stick that down? No, hurrah! I didn't want to Wisteria Wonder things exactly next to each other. So I just want to build in a bit of a gap. No, I used to be indecisive, but I still don't like that though. Let's turn it over. That's better. That's more like it. And then I can have that one there. Super. Right, so there we go. 2, I'm going to call them Peekaboo cards. Oh, I know what I forgot. I very carefully put out, ready to use, my Wisteria Wonder enamel shapes. So, and I'm using the star because we're talking congratulations, and because I've got a space there, I will use it. And then, so I'll have one there, one there, and one there, because I like triangles. So there we are. I hope you enjoyed that. Do give it a go. Obviously you could use a different set of stamps and dies, but I think that's really quite fun. So I hope you enjoyed it. As I say, it's not really difficult. Do check out the specials. So that's Christmas in July and the July bonus days. And also remember, so if you're shopping in my online store, there's July bonus days. Stampin' Up will give you a voucher for £4.50 for each £45 you spend in my online store, and the voucher can then be used in August, so spend in July, save in August. And whilst you're spending in July in my online store, you will also be entered into my prize draw, which is, because I've got 1,000, now over 1,000 subscribers, I'm giving away these 2 Hostess sets to one lucky shopper. And you get an entry for each £25 that you spend. So that's something to think about. And it also means that if you aren't spending £150 or more, it gives you the possibility of winning one of the Hostess sets that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get your hands on. So yes, so there's bonus days, my free draw, and Christmas in July. lots of things to look forward to. So I look forward to seeing you